Libra, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to those of you who have been here before, and big welcome to those of you who are coming over for the first time to see what it's all about. My name is Colette, my channel is Inspiring Life Changes, and this is a reading today for you Librans who are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Libra. And if you don't know where those placements are, Libra, there is a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out for yourselves, because it always helps to have a bigger picture, to see where it all fits together. It helps to understand the astrology of your own chart, as in what's going on in the sky at this time as well. And it also means that you can go and have a look at the corresponding readings for, say, your rising or your moon or your Venus sign. So it just helps to have a broader outlook, because your message, so to speak, your reading may be in one of those rather than actually in the Libra sun reading, or it may add more to it to make more sense for you. Also, you can then go and check it out on other channels as well, not just mine. So Libra, if you're a cusp end of, or cusp Libra, you're going to be at the zero end of Libra, moving away from the Virgo energy. So you may want to check out the Virgo reading if that applies to you. Or the 29 degrees of Libra, you're going to be moving more into the Scorpio energy. So you may want to check that out as well when I get round to putting that out next. This is a general read, so anything can come up in a general read. It can be about your business, it can be about family, it can be friends, it can be a relationship. But most of all, I tend to think of a Libra, sorry, not a Libra, a general read as being about the person themselves. So for instance, it is about you as an individual, Libra, not just about the actual circumstances around you. So anything can arise, just if it feels right, if it resonates with you, then take what feels good, feels correct. And if it's not all making sense, then like I said, try and check out those other signs as well. So the first card that we have here for an overall energy, Libra, is the Eight of Wands here in reverse, and it says swiftness as the word actually on the card, but when it's in reverse it feels as though it's not happening. It's like you're trying to get something, some message out there, or something started or completed. It's like something has caused something to stop moving. Something has stopped the creative flow here, is how I want to put it. Whatever the creativity and the drive that was behind this is kind of feeling like it's in a place of, I don't know if it's blocked so much as it's just in this place. It feels like it's in this place where it's not, how can I put it? It may even be that it's not being received, that you are actually feeling like you are holding back. Not that it's being blocked at the other end, but maybe you're holding back on it. We have at the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor, which is interesting because he does also turn up in your cards again later in your reading. So it does feel as though there's kind of authority energy, something that is kind of standing in your way maybe here, Libra. Something, maybe it is something that is blocking, something that is not maybe taking you seriously in a situation here. Something that's not open to hearing what you have to say about something. So we'll see what comes up with the rest of the deck and the actual reading for yourself here. Because we are starting the reading itself off, and I'm doing a Celtic cross reading here. So this is your energy at this time, Libra, and it's the Nine of Swords in reverse, which is saying to me that there is this situation very much in your head at this time, but there's also a situation of feeling like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that could also have a lot to do with this energy here as well. As I was saying, this authority, or this energy, this air of authority. Something isn't getting through to something here. Something is not connecting. There is blockage. And you may feel as though you've been in this energy for quite some time now. You may feel as though almost like reaching a point of resistance. So it's either you, Libra, who are doing this, or it is happening to you, or you feel as though it's happening to you. You have the King of Swords over the top of this nine as well. So the Nine of Swords, as I was saying, it's all up in the head. It's all the imagination, in the sense of seeing the worst, imagining the worst, feeling as though you're stuck in a place where things are not getting any better, any easier. I'm getting kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place energy. Keep coming up against authority. Keep coming up against kind of situations or people that stop you from moving ahead with something. Stopping you from because it is air energy, it is Libra energy, but it's at a point where you are kind of caught up in all the negativity. You've kind of got yourself caught up somehow, wrapped up in all that negativity. And because the King of Swords is the air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarian energy, it feels like today it's kind of coming through like a personal attack. Like this may feel as though it's very personal to you. Almost like somebody or something, the universe is out to get you in a way. It's out to kind of, whatever it is that you kind of try to do, you keep ending up in this same place, is how it's coming through. And this place of not being able to bring things together, of not being able to make something, I want to say manifest, but we do actually have the Magician on the board as well, or on the table, so maybe that is why I want to say manifest. But it's like there's something that you maybe keep trying over and over again, and you keep coming up against the same kind of energy, maybe not the same people or the same situations, but it's like it keeps manifesting this same energy in front of you, which is kind of like a blockage, it feels like. So you may be having to, with this King of Swords here as well, be rethinking things. The Three of Swords is an energy of, it is to do with heartache, the Three of Swords. It is to do with a situation of feeling something painful. This is in your head and what you are aware of. So it may be a repeating pattern that is causing the same scenario to appear time and time and time again. And you are, because it is very draining, this energy. It's mentally very draining. It's like you're stuck on a loop somehow and you can't get off that loop. And it keeps kind of dragging you down. The more you kind of feed into that loop as well, because this is both like that mental realm of something, that kind of sense here, I feel, with the Three of Swords, of something that's not like it's not healing. Like there's something maybe that should be healing or should have healed by now, but you're still feeding into it. There's a lot of the mental realm in this. There's a lot of rethinking things, going over the same ground, and it just kind of sends you into this spiral. What we have moving away, the energy that's moving away here, is the Chariot that is upside down. So I feel as though that isn't upside down, should I say. It is upright. So it has been moving along, things have been happening, and then it just feels as though this kind of comes back in, this mental blockage, this kind of reminder of something, almost like a reminder of, yeah, but do you remember when you did that last time, this happened, this painful situation. So this painful situation is now kind of stuck in your head, and it keeps kind of popping back up and bringing you back to this Nine of Swords energy. And you're kind of trying, with the King of Swords here, trying to intellectualize it, trying to work it out on a mental realm. Like overthinking it, over-analysing it, like literally kind of, it feels like kind of trying to take something apart. Because with the Chariot as the energy that's moving out, it does feel as though there was this kind of momentum happening for you, that things were kind of moving along, especially like with this Eight of Wands. Like the Eight of Wands, when it's upright, it does indicate this sense of things all kind of moving in the right direction, shall we say. Everything's heading in the right direction. Life is going well. It's easy flowing. But when it's in reverse, it's literally like having to kind of rein in those horses. Because something is not no longer allowing you to move forward, and that something is your, possibly your fear of something. But it is this sense of being trapped in this, like I was saying, this kind of downward spiral in a way, particularly when it's in reverse. It's like not being able to see clearly. And the King of Swords is about seeing things clearly. He is about clarity and insight and perception. But when you've got all this kind of clouded problems and worries, it's like each one of these swords kind of represents, say, that this is you in the middle in a way, and you're just kind of surrounded by these 8 swords, and each one of these is connected to an issue or a problem or something that you feel that you have to understand it. You have to understand it on a mental realm. You have to kind of get to the bottom of it or analyze it, or that's kind of what's coming through for me here. And underneath it we have the Magician, which is this manifestation energy. So this is in your subconscious. So this may be what you're not, or it will be what you're not aware of, because the subconscious realm is the hidden realm. So whatever's in the hidden realm, we don't understand, or we don't realize that that's our driving energy, so to speak. So this has been what has been pushing you forward so far, has been wanting to manifest something. Wanting to bring something into the real world, which is what also the Emperor talks about as well, which you have as your next energy. Moving in energy is the Emperor, and you also have it on the bottom of this deck here. Twice, both in reverse. And the Emperor does talk about wanting to bring something, like I say, into reality. And so does the Magician. So the Emperor is the masculine driven side of ourselves. It's the side of ourselves that makes things happen. It's the doing, active, very dynamic energy in many ways. It's what creates outwardly, is how I like to see the Emperor. The Emperor creates outwardly. He creates in the physical domain, and it doesn't mean that that has to just be a male energy. That's not what I'm saying here, because we both have both sides, even though for a long time we haven't been able to express the fact that we have both sides, because we've been very much judged by our outer appearance. But women have very masculine energy and men have very feminine energy. Sometimes that can be more dominant in both genders, the opposite of what they actually show to the world, so to speak. So anyway, interestingly, what I'm seeing here as well is with this wand that the Magician is holding up here to create. This is the creative energy, the driving force, if you like, the willpower. But when the Emperor is also very much about the willpower, the driving force is in reverse, he's not feeling particularly strong within himself. It's like all of those characteristics are being crushed or squashed or stopped from being able to kind of express who you are, is what I'm feeling here. And so, as I was saying, the the Emperor here sitting on his throne also has this wand or this baton in his hand here, which this magician is also holding up. But here, if you look at his face, I'll turn it up so you can see it better. If you look at his face, he's kind of just looking at this wand as if he doesn't really know what to do. Doesn't really know what to do with it. And seeing these two like towers that are around him here as being those kind of authority blockages, like things being put up in your path, Libra, that you're beginning, I feel, kind of stuck. Like before you may felt as though you could go round them, but now you're feeling it's like, it feels like it's happening over and over again, and you're no longer, like I was saying, I mean, this is draining. This is a draining energy, because you're constantly worrying, constantly worried about the what ifs, and also worrying about the things that have happened, the things that might happen. So there's this constant kind of turning over in your head, in your mind, and it's like it won't let you relax. It won't let you kind of have that space to be able to actually how can I put it, to actually see clearly, have the clarity that is needed. So this Emperor energy is not being able to bring something into the real world, whatever it is that you want to build here in the physical domain, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve here. It feels, Libra, as though this Emperor's energy is kind of coming up against forces stronger that are limiting you at this time. But it has also come out with the Temperance card, and the Temperance card, it is about the balance between the masculine and the feminine, because there is in her hand these two cups where the water, which is the emotional, the kind of alchemical, deeper realm, if you like, the intuitive, the instinctual, and also the more feminine realm in that sense. So although it's not the Empress energy, there is a sense here of something that needs to be balanced within this Emperor. But it feels like there's a lot of harshness around you at this time as well. Like it's all very harsh energy. But this Temperance card is kind of coming in to try and bring a sense of balance, if you will allow it to. I feel that that's another possible question. Because the Emperor can be very, again, I'm kind of getting this severe, harsh energy that is not allowing this softer, more gentle side of yourself into the equation here. So Temperance just wants to see, if you see here as well, she's just kind of putting her foot in this water. So it's like just entering into that watery, emotional, intuitive realm. Which is kind of where the answer, I feel, kind of lies with this Magician as well. Because in the Magician card you've just got the sun in the background again, which is a very masculine idea of energy. The sun representing the divine masculine energy. But here we have a rainbow with this sun, which is kind of saying that, you know, you need both. Like, because the water is also very like feminine. It represents the instinctual feminine, nurturing, I'm also kind of getting this idea of the psychic realm as well, like opening up to that side of yourself here, like trusting, maybe trusting your instinct more here, trusting your own feelings. Maybe that's something that you're not doing at this time, Libra. You're not allowing yourself to trust your own feelings, because this is kind of overriding all of this harsh kind of mind energy here, is overriding everything else at this time. It's over analyzing and taking everything apart. But the thing about the rainbow, I was going to say as well, is that the rainbow only appears when you have the rain and the sun together, or when after a storm happens and the rain kind of is still hanging in the air, or the water's still hanging in the air, and you get these beautiful rainbows. And the rainbow is seen as a path, like a an auspicious sign, like of something that is after the storm. It comes a rainbow. There's always a rainbow after the storm. And Temperance is the goddess of the rainbow. And the rainbow also connects to the chakra system as well. And the Emperor energy would relate to because it's to do with our physical domain and how we create outwardly in the physical domain, it relates to the lower chakra system, the lower colours, the red, the root chakra, the sacral chakra and the solar plexus. So maybe there's something there as well. Maybe there's something to do with those energies. Maybe there's something stuck. To do with your connection to the planet, with the physical domain, with how you manifest, with how you create outwardly, male or female. It doesn't make any difference. We all relate in the same way to those same energies. So moving on, we have the Two of Swords, yet another kind of thought, mind energy here. Two of Swords, decision. Something needs to be not just decided. It's more than just a decision. It's like this is something that is it's all a part of this same energy here. the 2, the 3, the 9, the King, even the Emperor energy as well. So there is something that you are needing to choose one way or another. A decision has to be made one way or another. And you may be aware of that as well, and that could also be what's holding you back here. The Temperance card can also talk about patience, waiting for the right time. For me, it's much more about the alchemical energy of the masculine and the feminine being kind of blended together. Because Temperance is usually shown as a thing with those cups being one masculine and one feminine. So it's kind of that balance within ourselves. And when we balance things up within ourselves, we find decision making a lot easier as well, because we're not just coming from one energy, which is what this feels like again. It's like just the mind is involved here. It's like not listening somehow to your instincts and your own inner knowing here. But what you're seeking, what you're wanting in your environment is this 10 of Cups energy. You're just wanting happiness. And that could also have something to do with why you're searching for this happiness, but along the way you keep getting these blocks and kind of ending up in this same scenarios. You're also having your hopes and fears, the 9 of Pentacles. It is upright, so that is a good sign. Because the 9 is about your self-esteem, your self-value, your self-identity, how you relate to yourself as well. It can talk about how far you've come on your journey, how far you've progressed, which can be something that we often kind of don't see. We see how much further we have to go rather than seeing how far we've come. So this is saying that, for me, it's also saying that along the way, you know, you have made all these choices or these changes as well. But interestingly, the last card that you have here is the 10 of, sorry, not the 10, the Ace of, I was just thinking like the 9 and the Ace together makes the 10. But you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is saying a new opportunity is coming in, a new direction, a new territory, a new way of doing something. So maybe this is also why you're being held back at this time, Libra. Because maybe it is time to make a decision to stop allowing yourself to be caught up in the same energy that keeps dragging you down, keeps putting you in scenarios and situations that are not feeding you, that are not giving you what you need, and not helping you to grow or mature or to use this powerful, because the Emperor is a powerful energy. When he's upright, he's a powerful character. He knows who he is, he knows what he wants, But unfortunately, when he's in reverse, it feels more like, almost like victim, like being how can I put it, being used for other people's reasons or purposes, and then possibly, like, you know, just being discarded, like that, no longer being or feeling that you are worthy. But that's what you are aiming for, that's what you're wanting. You've got the 10 of Cups here, and you've got the 9 of Pentacles. So you're hoping, because this is so much more greener and kind of full of life than these colours, which are just grey and drained. And so there's more vitality in these as well. There's more vitality is what I'm feeling. There's more, it's kind of like your vitality here is being sucked out of you, possibly by people around you as well, or possibly by the system, a system, something that you keep coming up against. So let's see what we get here. 5 of Discs and the Shaman of Cups. So the 5 of Discs is feeling like being on your own here. Like you're on your own, working on your own. It's often an energy of feeling left out in the cold, of having to leave something behind. Here she's kind of needing this bread. But I'm feeling, because it's in reverse as well, it's more a sense of working on yourself, for yourself. Almost like this is an energy of isolation, which at this time could well be a big factor as well in this energy here. But the Shaman of Cups, interestingly, is the King of Cups. And it is the total opposite energy of this King of Swords. So this is kind of saying, and it's interesting as well because I'm seeing a similar, here he's got this cup and he's kind of pouring stuff into this big cauldron that's over this fireplace, or over this fire, and she's also got these cups. So that again, there's this kind of alchemical process happening here, it feels like. Because the King of Cups is much more, again, that emotional realm. It's the Cancerian, Scorpio, Pisces realm, the watery, intuitive, feeling, sensing, sensitive realm. So you may be at this time kind of tuning in, or having to tuning, like this time isolation, working on your own, for yourself, with yourself, is putting you in touch with this energy. Is bringing this to the surface. This King of Cups energy. So rather than just problem solving mentally all the time and just kind of still ending up in that same cloud of confusion, or kind of that same entrapped feeling of getting nowhere and not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, this is kind of saying that the whole purpose, if you like, of going into this place of all of this being blocked from you at this time is in order for you to become more aware of your own emotional needs. Libra, to feel things on a deeper level. Even though you may feel that that's the kind of, I'm kind of getting the antithesis to your problem, because there's a sense of that's all that you do, is this going round and round in circles. It's like it's how can I put it? It's not on a feeling level, it's more on an intellectual. So you're not actually bringing it into the body on an emotional level of understanding it. And what we have over the top of this Three of Swords is judgment. And again, that rainbow road and the world here. So the Judgment card is for me saying that you can keep on doing this, you can keep on going down this same path and keep reaching this same like painful experience is what's coming through, this painful wounding experience or experiences that keep kind of coming back up. Or you can forgive and release it, because that's how I'm seeing it here. I'm seeing it as this kind of being released out of all these, like chakra here. It's like this is your energy here being released out of this trapped world. It's almost looking like an angel today as well for some reason. That there is this because I often see the Judgment card as like again a choice. It's like you judge something or you choose to remain in a certain way of thinking. It's also about releasing those past ghosts from your life that are keeping you in that place. It's saying, for me, it's saying it's time to let that go. It's time to release all this judgment, and judgment on yourself as well here. It feels like, Libra. It's time to let that go so that you can follow that rainbow path. And I keep coming back to that rainbow path, but it's almost like something like aligning, like connecting, like almost like it's there, it's sitting there, it's waiting for you, but you keep kind of blocking it out with this same mindset, is what I'm getting. This kind of mindset that keeps blocking out your destination, because I'm seeing this star at the end as well as being something that you, it's like being drawn down towards this star, this point of like the heart in a way, but also of release. So when you release all of that mental stress around it, it opens up into something else, into this new dimension, this new realm. It's like stepping it up into another level. And no longer allowing yourself to be dragged down. It also feels like this world here is, it's the 3D realm, it's the world, it's the earthly realm. It's where we create and kind of manifest our creativity. But it's also saying to me as well that that comes from a higher source. It comes from a higher energy, a higher frequency. But if it's blocked by all of this, then it can't reach you. So in order to kind of free yourself from this in a way, it feels like it feels like there needs to be just a clearing out, just like a clearing out, like a clearing, a cleansing, a releasing of all this past stuff that kind of holds you fixed to this earthly realm. And keeps reminding you of painful situations. And over the top of the Chariot, we have the energy of the Star. So it feels like you were on course. You were, yeah, heading towards your destiny. Heading towards what you wanted. Your life path. It's coming through like you were kind of on your life path, or you feel like you were on your life path, or you have been on your life path. But something kind of threw you off, is what I'm seeing. Something threw you off. Maybe it was something that was said. Because I'm seeing these coming through as also kind of yeah, like this barrage of information, or like literally arrows wounding. And because this is in reverse as well, it feels to me as though it may not have been, wherever this came from, it may not have been a particularly I'm going to put it, honest energy. Like this was somebody who was out to hurt. This is somebody who wanted to throw you off your path. Like in a kind of deliberate fashion. Because you were in that. That's kind of where I'm seeing that star as well. You were heading towards it. That was what you were heading towards, that star in the middle there. Kind of your place in the world, your destiny, your connection, knowing where you should be, what you should be doing. But something, and it's connected to this Three of Swords and this Eight of Wands and all this kind of barrage of and it feels like something that you weren't able to fend off. Libra, which could also be, whoops, why we have two Emperors both in reverse here as well, because this really did kind of, I'm getting throw you for a loop kind of energy with these two Emperors. Oh, that should be in reverse as well. Again, this Emperor's got a star above his head as well. So that could also be the Three of Swords can also be feeling literally like you've been stabbed in the back. somebody who you trusted, maybe thought they were on your side, or a situation, a person who you thought was there for you, and then they kind of backstabbed you. We have the Seven of Cups over the top of the Magician, which kind of talks about a sense of confusion. But for me, it also talks about, in this particular card, I'm seeing this as you being this person in the middle, feeding all of this outer energy, and it's all coming out. It's all coming out from you. It's like none of it's going back in. So you are putting a lot of your emotions into something, or a lot of like giving of yourself a lot here. It's come out over the top of the Magician. In the realm of the subconscious. So again, you may not have been aware of, but this was what you were doing. But it could have caused a lot of confusion as well. Because you were trying to, what you thought you were trying to manifest. It feels as though there was another opposing energy, or there was an energy that was that you were up against, that you may not have been aware of. And you were very giving, it feels, with this Seven of Cups as well today, that you were very giving, that you were the one that was feeding into this manifestation. You were the one who was giving your all. But all you got back from it was a lot of pain, feeling betrayed, confused, caught up in a lot of worry and stress is how it's coming through. We have the Nine of Swords again with the Eight of Wands again. Interesting. So that's what I mean. If you look at this card, this is what I'm kind of trying to express here, is the Nine of Swords is all of this stuff entangled all in your head all at the same time, that you are trying to kind of make sense of. Two Nine of Swords energies here, and it's still coming in. This is the energy that is coming in with this Emperor energy here as well. So again, it feels as though this is something that is kind of being like, on an outer level, it feels like it's something that is being aimed at you deliberately. Because we also have the Eight of Wands here again. And it's lack of peace of mind as well is what I'm getting here. There's lack of peace of mind. It's like it doesn't matter with this Empress and this Temperance card. It's like trying to find that balance and that sense of equilibrium and alignment within yourself, but there's this outside energy. It feels like this outside energy that is constantly kind of attacking. And disturbing. It's like it disturbs your peace, it disturbs your ability to function, even, is what's coming through. I don't know what this is absolutely about here, Libra. But it's feeling very much like being under attack by something, somebody. Like even in sleep, it's like there's no rest. There's still all this stuff just coming through. Yeah. We have the Tower over the top of these Two of Swords. And I felt that there was more to this Two of Swords than it just being a decision. It's like it's not that easy. This is life-changing energy that we're talking about here. This is something that's going to really shatter all of this. Like there is a decision and you will make a decision, but when you make that decision, it's going to have a huge effect all around this situation. Whatever this situation is, it's going to have a huge effect. It's going to affect everybody in one way or another, not just you. And it will, I feel as well that it will be like an out of the blue, sudden kind of decision, something that you're just going to kind of just, that's it, something's going to snap or something's going to break through for you here, and you're just going to change everything around you. Everything. And maybe that's also why we have this Ace of Pentacles at the end here, because it is like everything is just going to dissolve. It feels crumble. But in a good way. It's like this is something that you need to do in many ways, Libra. Because it feels like this outer energy is pushing you to this place from within that is going to literally make that choice. It's like no longer no longer concerning about how it's going to affect everybody else around you. And I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this as well. So it's like, this is you here sitting on that tower with all those kind of electrifying shock waves coming out of your head. It's almost like, it feels like a real breakthrough moment. But other people are not expecting it. I don't think you're expecting it either, to show the honest truth, Libra. I think it's something that's going to... We have Temperance and Death as well over the top of this Ten of Cups. So this is what's in your environment, in the sense of how other people, or how you as well as other people see your environment. But it feels to me like this is what you're aiming for, this is what you are hoping for, wanting out of life, what you were building for. But there is this massive change coming here, because you've got the Death card and the Temperance card. Again, Temperance card twice as well. This time it is in reverse. So I feel that whatever happens here with this Tower, it may feel as though for some time you may feel as though you made the wrong decision, that you had those two choices, and the decision that you made may not necessarily feel like it was the right decision or a good decision, because there is going to be big changes. Big change. I mean, Death and Temperance together. Like I was saying, this does talk about the alchemical process for me, something that goes on deep within, as does the Death card as well. They're both very inner, transformational energies in a way. Particularly I feel when the Temperance is in reverse as well. So you may feel as well, because of this sudden out of the blue moment that may be out of character for you, but you may kind of feel as though you, like I was saying, you didn't make the right decision, that it's caused more strife or trouble or upheaval, chaos in your life. But it is actually, in the long run, with this Ace of Pentacles, leading you to this new opportunity. But it may take some time to get there. It may take some time to go through this process of change and transformation and death, and because that doesn't happen immediately. This inner world, your inner world, Libra, is changing. And when your inner world changes, your outer world reflects it as well. So we have the Chariot and the Priestess of Wands. So that's the Queen of Wands. And the Chariot again. So your hopes and your fears are that you are going to start moving forward again. That things are going to start shifting, that your world is going to start, you're going to kind of start seeing a different environment around you. As I was saying, when you change inwardly, you change outwardly. And I'm also seeing a similar energy with this Priestess of Wands here, this Queen of Wands. Again, there's another rainbow as well here. And there's a black sun up here in the sky as well. So this could also be related to the solar eclipse that we had not long back. It could be making big changes in your life that are kind of still happening, because solar eclipse energy lasts for about 6 months. So even if it hasn't happened yet, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. But what I'm seeing here is this black sun, and then there's this like sun energy. But it's a very electrified energy is how I always see the Priestess of Wands. She's very electrified. She's very creative. She's tapping into her own personal creative spirit. And that's what's going to help drive this forward. Again, it's a hope and a fear. But it's kind of bringing back that sense of, it's over the top of this Nine of Pentacles as well. So you are wanting to, I feel as though you're wanting to change that environment. It's almost like you've been there or stuck in that environment. And I don't necessarily mean that literally as in the place that you live, although for some that may be the case. But it feels more like this kind of doing the same thing over and over again. And as I say, that's a kind of sign of madness, because, and that could also be this Nine of Swords energy here as well, which can lead to this sense of kind of like everything's just insane. Like the Ten of Swords being like this kind of energy of like your own personal sense of crazy. Like everything in your head just feels so crazy that it's and chaotic and just like going over, as I was saying, just kind of looping round and round and round. But that's what I feel you're going to break free from here. Breaking out of it, pushing forward with a much stronger sense as well of who you are and what you want. It is like a huge breakthrough moment. Queen of Wands, of course, is the fire energies of Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. So again, all very dynamic, all very creatively driven. And I'm also getting a connection with this magician energy as well here. Because before I feel as though you were manifesting from a place of doing it for everybody else's benefit rather than yours. Whereas with this card here, even though it is a hope and a fear rather than an actuality at this time, it is still there. You are kind of aware of her presence, shall we say. So the priestess or the queen of wands has the ability to magnetize things to her, draw things to her, to create in a way that isn't just about it's like knowing you have that creativity, you have that passion to make something happen. If you really want it to happen, you can make it happen. And you can draw it towards you, you can pull it into your life, you can make it, create it around you, which is also, I'm getting this kind of energy of change of environment in a way as well. As I was saying, changing your inner world will change your outer world. But there is this deep process taking place within at this time for you, Libra. That rainbow keeps jumping out at me as well. It's kind of been 3 separate cards here. 4 if you include the temperance down here. And then we have, over the top of the Ace of Pentacles, the Priestess of Swords. So the Queen of Swords. Air energy, Libra energy again. But this time it feels like you have more perception. You're more perceptive about what is, almost like you're seeing things, it's going to sound weird, but like you're seeing things ahead before they happen. So you're using that perceptive Libran mind, shall we say, to be able to, because I'm seeing this owl here, that she's kind of, it feels like she's kind of sending it out in front of her to see what's coming, is how I'm seeing this. And that it's connected to this tower energy as well. It's connected to something kind of coming alive within you. To something opening within your own psyche. Third eye chakra opening, possibly for some. But it's a sense of being able to kind of literally sense what is coming, what is beyond, like this opportunity. It's like you have this opportunity. And the Queen of Swords is giving you the ability to see what's next, to see what the next step is before you take that next step. You can kind of, it feels like, put your mind, if you like, out beyond where you are at that time to see, if I do this, what will the result be? If this happens, what will the consequences of that be, so to speak? And it's all part of the process of this awakening that is happening. You may even be in this process at this time, but there is a deep transformational energy that is there and saying, it feels like it's saying, Libra, there's so much more. And bringing you back, in fact, to that path, to that destiny that you veered away from originally. Again, I'm getting goosebumps here. So it's going to bring you back to that place that you thought you had missed. Possibly also with that Emperor energy. But in a different way. It's almost like a leap ahead. It's almost like taking you back onto your path. But when you get back onto your path, you're kind of much further down that path than you thought you would be, shall we say. So it's like almost like taking a huge leap forward. So let's see what the angels of light would like to say to you here, Libra. But it does feel that you are still, it's almost like, it feels almost like you have to get to that point with these two Nine of Swords, one in reverse and one upright. Almost like you have to get to that breaking point, that point of kind of, that's it, that's enough, that's within yourself. And it feels as though it's more about within yourself. But it is going to, like I was saying, it is going to affect your outer environment. So what do we have? Surrender. Whatever you resist in life persists, as your angels to help you dissolve all the resistances of your, ask your angels, to dissolve all the resistances of your ego, the inner conflict, and struggle, the rigid mindsets and habits, so that they can flood your life with higher truth and joy. which is what I think this Judgment card is here. When you surrender to the guidance of your higher self, all the energy you have been using in resistance becomes available to you, which is what I feel that this is all about here. Again, goosebumps. Keep getting those goosebumps. All of this. I said resistance earlier as well. Vitality, inner peace, harmony, and most of all, love are your spiritual rewards. So flow with the pace of life, relax and tune in. Then follow the guidance of your intuition, knowing that the angels will support you at all times. So the affirmation is, I surrender to the flow of life. I don't know if you can see that very clearly. So that kind of fits very nicely with that reading. Surrender it, let it go. So the Keepers of Light energy. Let's see what the Keepers of Light would like to say to you, Libra. At this time for the collective of Libra, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and cusp energy of Libra, please. Source energy. What's the message for Libra? What would you like to say to Libra? Have a message for Libra? I'll take this one. Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love, do what is right for everyone involved, offer a helping hand. I feel very much this is about compassion to yourself though, Libra, rather than everything else. So Kuan Yin. Sometimes Kuan Yin, okay, so she is a bodhisattva, a Buddha-like being, and the goddess of mercy, compassion and love. Though she's acknowledged in Buddhism and the traditions of China, she goes well beyond religion and warms the hearts of all who call on her. She has a strong connection to healing energy, in particular Reiki, and encourages people to offer care, forgiveness and compassion to themselves and others. Compassion is about recognizing the spirit in others. It's about seeing that they come from the same source as you do. So the extended message is, first of all, the Keepers of the Light want to acknowledge all the service and commitment you have offered to others. You are all love. If you are finding it difficult with anyone at the moment, the best way you can move forward is to go beyond wanting to understand why or how they are the way they are, which is kind of what I was getting with this energy here, I feel. A situation, something that's just keeping you wrapped up, like here, entangled, wrapped up in it. Just move beyond their behaviour, mistakes and challenges. This card brings a message of friendship and care, helping you see that those around you do have the best intentions, even if it doesn't always seem that way. Move into compassion and develop a greater understanding. This will elevate your spirit and connection to love. And that's not saying that you have to allow that person to stay in your life. It's just saying don't kind of allow them to be who they are, and do what they do, but don't allow it to affect you in the same way. So it's not saying that you have to allow people to be abusive towards you, because I think sometimes this kind of message gets confusing for people. So it's saying move into compassion for yourself, and as you move into compassion for yourself, you will feel it for others as well. But that doesn't mean, as I was saying, that you have to put up with abusive behaviour from other people. Just understand that they're also in that place of suffering as well. So Libra, I'm going to leave your reading there and say thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this reading, if you've learned anything or benefited from this reading at all, please could you thumbs it up for me, because it really helps the algorithms to pick it up on YouTube and take it out to the broader YouTube platform, where hopefully people will get to see my videos and maybe even get them recommended on other people's channels, which is what really helps to grow people's channels as well, is when people are recommended. People are more likely to see that video and think, oh, that looks interesting, or it's recommended by a channel that I really like. So all those thumbs up and those likes, which only take a couple of seconds to do, literally make a huge, huge difference to every channel. Also, could you, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel? There is a subscription button on the video or down below, where you can make a choice when you tap on the subscription button as to whether or not you want to receive the videos as and when I put them out, with that little bell. If you tap that, it will let you know. So also thank you very much to those of you who have liked my videos, to those of you who have subscribed already, and to those of you who have shared my videos. Very, very much appreciated. And if you haven't shared my videos, or you want to share my videos, please feel free to do so, because again, that gets them out into the broader YouTube platform. And if you feel like anybody that you know may benefit from this, then go ahead, like I was saying, just recommend it to them as well. If you know of somebody who's in a situation which kind of resonates with this situation. For cross watchers as well, if you're interested in a Libra, in a relationship with a Libra, or have been in a relationship with a Libra, then just be aware that this reading could actually be your story that's being told here as well. So just, if it resonates with you, then that's your message. So I'm going to leave it there and say thank you again very much, Libra, for coming over and watching my video, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Please take really good care of yourself. All the best.